Welcome back, my dear students. In the previous video we learned that how we can get the image extension and the image name. So now the time is to save this image into our project and into the database. So let's get started. So we are getting this image in our this image variable. So let's save this image into the project, right, first. And you need to call this helper method move, right? And this moves accepts two parameters. The first one, the path of the image, and then second one is name of the image. So you need to specify the path of image, so you can define this image and stuff like that, but I want to store this image into the public directory, this public directory. So how can I access this public directory? So there is a helper there, so it's a public path. So you can define this public path, so it will automatically locate this public directory. And here you need to define like images. So if you define this images, so it will create an images directory here, right? And I want to create an images directory, and inside the images I want to create a post directory, right? And here I want to post an image. Which image? This image, right? So let's copy this and paste it here, right? So I want to move this image and then return this image. So let's give it a refresh, and for now our public directory is empty, so give it a refresh, and yes, it's returning image name. And let's go to the yes, in the public directory we have it is created a images directory here, and in the images it's created a post directory, and post directory contain this image. Great, so we are receiving this image, right? So now the time is to save this image name also in the database. So let's copy this image name, don't need to return it. Okay, so also remove this stuff from there, and here we need to add this image, right? Image. So image is optional. So what if the image does not exist? So it will throw the exceptions. To avoid the exception, first let to check that image. If there is any image, not this one, you need to check this. So if a request have an image, so then it will upload this image, right? Otherwise it will upload nothing, upload and empty, right? So we have this create request, not simple request. Okay, it's a create request having an image. It will store the image, otherwise it will store the empty. It's a ternary operator, it's a simple if else condition. First checking that if this image exists, it will upload this image, otherwise it will upload this empty, right? So I think we did not make this. Let me go to the database and check this image structure, right? So the image is not nullable. Yes, not null. So we need to define something like 0.png. Why I'm doing this? Because we don't have a nullable property in this image, so you can change this from the migration. So I'm doing this for administration purposes. So let's go there and give it a refresh. So it will add another image with different name, and also add this in the database. So give it a refresh, and it will redirect us to it's throwing general image does not have a default value. Why it's throwing this error? Because of let me go to the post directory. So we need to fill into the MOS assignment, right? This is the fillable, right? Save this one here and give it a refresh, and it says status do not have a default value. So it means that it's tracking this status, so we don't have status in our database. So let's give it a refresh, and it still says status does not have a default value. So let me check that is there any status, and yes, status is there. So let me create a status here, not remove this from this one, and add status here. So status, and the status would be by default empty. I'm doing this empty, right? So now it's now it's going to create this, and yes, it's created this, and our post is created, right? So let's go here and give it a refresh, and yes, post is added and our image name is this one. So we don't need to store this image name. So let's go there and change the image name. So we have this time, and then we are getting this extension, and we are storing this image name. So let me store this, not an image, it's an image name, right? So let's go here and create another image, and it's also storing this in our public directory, right? This one. So let's go here, add another, and choose another picture. So I'll choose this, okay, and submit it, and it's submitting the result. And yes, it's added this post, and it's also added this in the database, right? And now the image name would be this timestamp and then .png, right? And let me go to database. Yes, in the project directory it's added this image, right? So we successfully added our image into the project and also in the database. So in the next video we will grab this image from the database, so we can display this in our post page, right? So thank you so much for watching. Stay connected. Bye bye.